Parker. So good to see you.
Likewise, thank you for having me.
Of course. This is so fun. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. I love cereal. So I'm like, I got to have the cereal guy on. Parker is the founder and CEO of LoveBird Foods. He lives in Minnesota. And I'm going to let you take it from here and just tell me how you got started. What's your background? Why did you want to get into the cereal company that has millions of cereals out there that we know are such bad food? I love LoveBird because the ingredients are amazing, which I'm going to have you talk about. I'm just such a cereal girl, and I was so excited that I could actually have something that was healthy for myself. So yeah, take it away and tell us a little bit about how you got started. What's your background a little bit?
Of course. So I actually used to work in big food at a company that you probably all have heard of called General Mills. I worked there
Yes.
for about 6, 7 years on everything from cereal, Cheerios, Nature Valley, Yoplait,
Ugh.
and even Totino's pizza rolls, which is
Oh, don't say that.
testing the limits of the word food.
Oh, wow.
And kind of through that journey, I was trying to change it from within and actually did some pretty cool real food things while I was there, but it became apparent that that wasn't really part of their long-term strategy.
Mm.
And so the inflection point for me was when my daughter was born. It was sort of my Jerry Maguire moment, if you're familiar with that
Oh,
movie,
I love that
where,
movie.
when she was born, I sort of was like, what am I doing? What should I be doing? How could I be making a difference? And that was
Yeah.
the birth of my daughter, but also the birth of the Lovebird mission,
Mm.
which is to clean up junk food with real food from the earth, and
Hmm.
also fight childhood cancer by giving 20% of our profits. So it's been a long journey that seems like a long time ago, but it wasn't too long ago. We've been in existence for a couple of years now. I've been just overwhelmed by the support of people like yourself that are seeking and desiring cleaner options, and aren't willing to sacrifice for junk food and things that harm our bodies. And so
Yeah.
before there was a cereal, there was that mission. And then once I started to dig into junk food and the effects on our bodies, and it became very apparent, which was the first priority, as you kind of mentioned, the cereal aisle is like, the king and queen of junk food.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's
Yeah.
dessert in a box, and
Yeah.
it's the number one breakfast for kids.
Oh, yeah. I
About
had Captain Crunch growing up. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no wonder why
Yeah,
I got autoimmune disease.
yeah, no kidding. And about 90% of households have a box in their pantry, right? And
Yeah.
so it is very prevalent. It is very destructive, and I
Hmm.
wanted to use real food ingredients to help clean it up because it was something similar to
Yeah.
yourself that I enjoyed growing up,
Yeah.
and can be a part of your diet in some way, shape, or form if the ingredients are just much better, right?
Yeah. All the sugar. I mean, I have it right here.
There you go, in the wild.
And I love your box. It's so pretty. But we will let you talk about this in a little bit. But I mean, look at these ingredients. They're like spot on. Can I mention the ingredients?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Cassava coconut, honey, coconut sugar, not sugar, cinnamon, coconut oil, and Himalayan salt. I mean, who in the world has ingredients like this in a grocery store? I have not seen it. And I lived on sugar as a kid. I mean, so this is incredible. And tell us about you mentioned something about the 20% back that you give, because I know that your cereal is pretty pricey, but for me it's worth it. I don't care to spend the money, but I know you're giving back as well. So that's probably why you have to up the price, correct?
Yeah, the donation is separate from kind of our pricing, right? The pricing is really driven by the real food ingredients. So if you look at
Yes.
the first one on there, and when anybody, depending on where you're at on your health journey or shopping journey, like the first three ingredients are usually the most important because that's
Mm-hmm.
usually 70 to 80% of what you get in that box or bag or whatever packaged food item that is. And
Right.
so our cassava actually comes from small family farms, so it's not industrial agriculture. And why that's a benefit is because the soil quality and soil health is much better. And it's
Okay.
the only cassava I found out of probably 11 or 12 that I tested that was a
Mm.
heavy metal non-detect. So this is
Wow.
how pure the soil is, that it comes from. So it's great to not have those toxins in the soil,
Yes.
but it also means the soil quality is really good, and all of the things that live in soil are transferring those nutrients into the cassava root and
Okay.
into the cereal eventually. And so,
Non-GMO, all that.
yeah, all of that stuff,
Hmm.
literally
And it makes it
went
more
around the
money,
world.
pricier.
Yeah, I mean, per pound, my cassava is about $2.15. The
Wow.
typical cassava is about 90 cents.
Wow. Yeah. And I'd
So
much
you
rather
could,
spend more to have a
yeah, and you
good,
could imagine why it's 90 cents, right? It's coming
yeah.
from nutrient depleted fields with
Hmm.
high levels of heavy metals and
Hmm.
or some other,
Glyphosate.
yeah, glyphosate and some other grain-free cereals that use chickpeas or some pea
Hmm.
proteins that are not organic.
Hmm.
100% have glyphosate in it, and so I wanted to try to find the purest ingredients for my products, and obviously you get what you pay for, right?
Right. And we
But
know it rips
the
up the gut. I mean, that's what I talk about all the time in healing people's guts every day when I work with clients is most of these foods are being sprayed with pesticides, glyphosates, heavy metals, all the things that cause the autoimmune, the cancers and all that. And so I just want to give a plug with that because I don't, a lot of people watching this might not think, well, what's wrong with glyphosate? So we know it's definitely a toxin that is detrimental to you. So
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to kill insects and
yeah.
human and life. And
And
so,
plants, yeah.
yeah,
Roundup, basically.
yeah, it can't be good for us, right?
Right,
And
right.
so, the other part of what you said is the charitable contribution. And so, as a new father, and I have autoimmune issues myself, and I've done a lot of testing, and some of that testing has occurred in children's hospitals, and that's when I was exposed to children fighting cancer. And I
Mm.
remember a moment I was in a waiting room and I saw a little girl kind of go up to a board they had in the waiting room that you could write messages and things like that on it. And she wrote, "You are stronger than you know." And I was like
Wow.
absolutely floored. And if you look at the back of the box, that line is actually in the LoveBird poem on the back. And so that
Oh,
was when I really picked up that cause, the
oh,
emotion
I
of
see
being,
it.
yeah, the emotion of being a parent, and seeing a child go through that. I could not even imagine. And since then, I've been introduced to and worked with families who are going through it. And our donation is both for research,
Hmm.
uh, and also directly to families. Like it's not for a tax write-off. Like
Hmm.
we are not
You're blessing
pro-
others.
yeah, we're not profitable. So our donations,
Hmm.
we've donated about $25,000. And
That's
so
awesome.
that's directly out of my pocket, right? And so
Okay. Yeah.
that to me is with Lovebird, the ingredients on the front of the box are charitable cause. There's no gimmicks, right? And so I'm really
Hmm.
trying to redefine what business can be from a profit at all cost model to a profit with purpose model. And so
I love that.
and I still own 100% of the company, and I do that so I can live my truth and live my mission,
Hmm.
versus having someone tell me to use cheaper ingredients
Right.
or cut that corner or this corner and just do clean, convenient food and packaged food the right way.
Well, and that's what we're here, right? I mean, I feel like we're here to love people. Like with my
Hmm.
job, I don't make a lot of money doing what I do, but it's not about the money for me. It's about paying it forward because I was so sick. Just like
Hmm.
you have a story, I have a story where I want to pay it forward and God will bless you by helping others. I really believe that. Um, so I love that your mission isn't just, here's cereal. You're actually giving back to people that really need help. So I love
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I think it's about lifting each other up, right? And
Yeah.
that's part of where the name Lovebird even came from, right? Is I
Yeah.
thought about the most powerful word, and it is definitely love. And it also was a nickname for my daughter, little Lovebird. But things just kind of like worked and fit together. And the hope
Mm.
is that you have that pay it forward effect that people just continue to do good deeds for others, and it lifts everybody up.
Yeah, I saw your little post that you said, my purpose is to help my family and yours eat better so we can all rise and fly with food from the earth, lightly sweetened by nature. And that's
Yeah,
pretty neat. And that's exactly what you're talking about. So
absolutely.
that's so cool. Okay. So what else? So we talked about the ingredients, childhood cancer. I want to talk about that. Um, Yeah, tell us about like when you were working with General Mills. What was the light that went on? Like, I mean, how long were you working there? And I know it was when your daughter was born, you mentioned that you wanted to change it up, but is there anything that was just like that light bulb went on? I'm sure seeing all the crap food was probably a light bulb, but
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, when I started working there, I was definitely drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak, and,
mm,
feeding America food.
yeah.
You kind of tell yourself that, but then when I went on my own health journey with my own autoimmune issue and learned about the power of food, right? Like I
Mm,
didn't really understand how it can impact your body and
everything.
that it's literally programming to your cells to heal or destroy what's going
Yeah.
on internally. So that was kind of an eye opener, and like that was probably about halfway through my time there, and that's when I started asking more questions and trying to create products that um, could do better and be better. I
Yeah.
actually launched like a grain-free granola Autumn's Gold that's at Costco that
Oh,
I
is
was
this
really
another
proud
product?
of.
Oh,
Yeah, when I was there. And so like it was possible, but it wasn't something that was a priority for them, right? And
oh,
so
gotcha.
that was when became apparent that it was kind of time to go.
Mm.
And I was
They
kind
didn't
of
have the
waiting.
same mindset.
No, and right, like the decision making there is they view people as consumers, and I really hate that word because
I
it,
hate,
it
I know,
devalues
just a
the
number.
end.
We're just
That's
numbers.
like we're people, right?
Yeah,
And so we're
exactly.
people that eat, and we eat to survive and thrive.
Yeah.
And so I think that mindset of maximizing share of stomach or getting as many people as possible to eat your food as possible without asking, like, should we be doing this, right? Like, what
Hmm.
should people be eating and
Right.
putting into their bodies? And so those types of questions, the meetings you're in where they're, lowering margins to make more money and sell worse food, like it just, I liken it to like if you were to invite someone over to your house and you were going to make them dinner. Let's say
Yeah.
you have some nice grain-free spaghetti
Yeah.
and you invite them over. Like if you went to Big Food's house, they would have the cheapest spaghetti possible. They would
All the
cut them in half.
GMO, the
They'd cut
wheat.
it. They'd cut it in half, keep half for themselves, and give half to you. Water down the pasta sauce,
Wow.
and rush you through your dinner, and then tell you to goodbye and never follow up. Right?
Oh
Like it's not a very
gosh.
neighborly
Right.
thing to do. And so I wanted to add like the humanity back into food because brands used to be a mark of a person that sold something right at a market or
Yeah.
wherever it might be. And
Like
then
Europe's doing.
yeah, it's evolved into this huge faceless corporation that only cares about profit, right? They may
Yeah.
say other things, but at the end of the day, they have a responsibility to shareholders. So I wanted to bring it back, just like the food I use, but like the mentality of, selling food and being a business, bring it back to a much more personal level.
Yeah. And actually caring about the ingredients that are quality and good. And I know I wish we could do what Europe is doing. I mean, their food is just so much cleaner, you know.
Hmm.
So question for you is when you started LoveBird, did you just play around in your kitchen? Because I'm a cook. I have 200 recipes on my website for my clients, and I love to cook. So I'm interested how you even got it going because I feel like this is something I would want to do. So
Yeah, I did experiment in the kitchen, a lot of cassava almond flour covered nights.
yeah, I
And then
bet.
and finally my wife was like, "What are you doing?" Because I
Yeah,
am not. I can cook, but my wife is a much
she's more
better
of the
cook.
cook. Yeah.
And so that was when I found some help to kind of make the recipe. But I did get it to like the
So
type
we
of ingredients I wanted to use.
okay.
And then it was just making it. And I actually had a lot of interesting conversations because typically if you're at a big food company, you develop some stuff internally, but you go to these huge flavor houses that
Mm,
create artificial and natural flavors, which are pretty
wow.
much the
Oh no.
same thing.
Yes, please
Uh,
tell people that natural flavors is not good.
no, it's the same. I mean, the source material is quote unquote natural, but the processing to convert it into a flavor is identical to an artificial
And
flavor.
it could be MSG when they say natural. Nobody
Yeah,
knows what it is.
up to 200 different ingredients, a lot of
Yeah.
processing aids and
Mhm.
solvents and things to get it to that stage, right? If you think
Yes.
about taking a natural piece of whatever tree bark, cinnamon bark, and you
Hmm.
extract it and manipulate it and create an aroma, they're really not flavors that you taste, they're
Right.
flavors that you smell.
Yeah.
So
I
there's really
agree.
not much true taste to it. And so you typically go to these flavor houses and they develop these proprietary natural flavors and artificial flavors. And so when I went, I didn't know any better. So I went to them and be like, here's the ingredients I want to use. And they
Okay.
kind of laughed at me. They're like, well, you're not going to be able to use real honey and raw honey. Like, how are you going to be able to use that? Like, it's not going to taste
Wow.
good. And I was just kind of like blown
Tastes
away that,
amazing. You're the best. It's the
yeah,
best cereal I've ever had.
yeah. I mean, I was in meetings where
Yeah.
we were working on a yogurt and they were like, oh, we have to use natural flavors or artificial flavors because strawberry really doesn't taste like anything. And I'm like, huh?
Well, the
Like,
reason why they do that is and I have learned is they put the sugars and the artificial flavors so that it makes you hungrier and
mm,
that you want to buy more and more and more and eat more, right?
mhm.
And so that's why people are gaining so much weight. I'm sure if they were to eat your cereal, you're not going to be gaining a bunch of weight eating this versus Lucky Charms.
Yeah, I mean, Lucky Charms and other big food cereal brands, like it's just empty carbs with a ton of sugar
Yeah,
and hyper palatable to get you to eat more,
to
right?
eat
Like
more.
there's scientists, food
Oh
scientists
yeah.
calculating bliss points and things like
And
that
blood sugar
to,
dropping to the going through the roof. And yeah,
yeah.
anyway, we could go on and on, right? But so you went ahead and because I thought I heard you were doing it like in your garage, or I thought I saw something
Yeah, I
about that.
started like starting Lovebird was a absolute journey. I went from a huge, what I call the Death Star of a huge corporation to kind of the rogue front lines of my garage and my house.
Yeah.
And so I was hand packing every box, writing
Oh
every
wow.
email. I still do. It's just me and one partner at the moment. So every Instagram DM or email you get is actually from me. And so
Yeah.
I like keeping that because I like being like talking to people and it helps me remind myself like this is not just a business on a spreadsheet. Like this is a
Yeah.
living, breathing thing that people interact with and feed their families. And I never want to take that for granted. And I'm so grateful for that trust
That's awesome.
and joining the mission. So yeah, I mean, in the beginning it was wild hand packing boxes and now I have some people to help out with that
That's
because it's
good. Well,
grown
you're
quite a
in
bit.
so talk about you're in a lot of grocery stores right now.
Yeah, I
Where are you at?
luckily we're in Sprouts and Whole Foods. We're in some Kroger stores on the West Coast, like Ralph's and things like that, which
I
is
go
a
to
huge deal.
Ralph's. I just went
Yeah,
to Ralph's and bought this. I had to take it out of the box so you
yeah, there
can
you
look at
go.
it. Yeah. I
Love
hope you
that.
brought, I don't know if you're going to be able to show other flavors, but we'll talk about the other flavors in a minute. But yeah, so Ralph's, Whole Foods, Sprouts, Kroger's, you said?
Yeah, Kroger's on the West Coast, and we have a store locator on our website. So if you just Google Lovebird store
I feel like you're
locator,
everywhere now.
you can find Lovebird near you.
Yeah.
But
It'll
yeah, I
just
mean,
fly right over to you.
but I think like Whole Foods and Sprouts took a shot on me, right? Like I was just a
Amazing.
guy in a meeting, and it's I think it's a testament to the quality of ingredients and the quality of brands they want to put in their stores, right? Like they
Well,
do
there's,
have a
yeah.
wide range of things in there, but like they're willing to give a shot to, a seemingly mission crazy guy trying to make a difference. So I'm forever grateful for that and excited to where we're going to go next. And like you mentioned, Ralph's, it's a little bit more conventional than a Whole Foods, and so
I know. I
that
was
to me
shocked
is
to see
like
it.
yeah, that to me is like, all right, like I hope this works because that means people that are buying the Lucky Charms of the world are switching, right? And
Well, I'm
so it's
promoting
been,
you. Go to Ralph's,
yeah,
everyone. If you're
yeah,
local
thank
here in
you.
Murrieta, Temecula,
Please,
whatever,
please, we need the support.
yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, so this one is this is honey. This is a honey one. Oh no, this is a cinnamon one.
Yep, we have
And
cinnamon.
delicious. Like I love banana too, so I put a little banana in it and eat it. But so what other flavors do you have?
Yeah, we have just kind of our plain unsweetened, which just four simple ingredients right there
Okay.
on the front. Think of it as like
Awesome.
a plain Cheerio.
Okay.
And then we have cacao, which is a chocolate cereal that's
It's so
very
good.
good. Then we have honey, as you mentioned, and also our newest flavor is strawberry, which
Strawberry
was like mind blowing that we were able to do that because
with real strawberries.
it's the first strawberry or fruity flavored cereal not to use natural flavors. Like even some of the quote unquote
Ah,
healthy cereals out there use it, right? And
yeah.
so it was hard to do, and we use a lot of strawberry, obviously, as you need it to convey that flavor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You're just getting
And
food,
it's
which is like
organic. You're not getting
Mhm.
pesticides from your strawberry.
Exactly.
So that is incredible. I am so stoked for you and so excited to see what the future is going to come. And I will never not. I've eaten a lot of cereals out there that are healthy, and I have to commend you because the ingredients that you have here are 5 star for me,
Mm.
and my clients. Because I have a following on Instagram that I'm always promoting, and I always say it's key. Yes, there might be a good cereal out there you think is good, but make sure you look at those ingredients and it's organic, it's GMO, all free, all the things. So I just congratulate you on making it happen. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think as you can appreciate, right? Like health or healthy eating, you just read ingredients, like
yeah,
you're already ahead of the game, right? Like
totally.
you know what you're putting into your body. And for me, that's why I put them all on the front, right? To make it easy. I always get a kick about
Yeah.
people like showing a picture of the side panel ingredients. I'm like,
It's
they're
like
all
this
on the
small.
front.
I know
Yeah.
yours is so big. I love that. Like, hello, look at that. I know usually it's so small. And then I love that you just write fight childhood cancer on the back, 20% of profits. You reveal everything right there. And your logo is so cute. Anyway, yeah,
Thank you.
it's great. Well, thank you, Parker. This has been so fun. I am going to post a little bit of this on Instagram. You guys can see that. I have a YouTube channel, Heavenly Healthy Gourmet. You can post it for your followers. If they need a health coach, I'm happy to help them. I work
Awesome.
with autoimmune, cancer, you name it. I do it. Pretty much everything a naturopath does.
That's
So,
amazing. Thank you
yeah,
for all your work.
thank you. All right. Well, let's talk soon. And thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Bye bye.